Gloucestershire collapse again to leave Somerset on the brink. George Bartlett's fourth first-class century boosted Somerset's fortunes on a blockbuster opening day against Gloucestershire, after yet more tail-end resilience from Somerset and a lethal bowling spell, which left their opponents 13 for 4 in reply. Tom Lace and Matt Taylor resumed at the crease, hoping to repair some of the damage for Gloucestershire on day 2, but they got off to a bad start, as Taylor sliced a Tom Lammonby at point to leave the visitors on 29 for 5. And when Jamie Overton was brought into the attack, his angle delivery was edged to brother Craig at slip, as George Hankins departed for just 6 to leave Somerset with eyes on a match-winning lead. Staring at a tall order in Taunton, Gloucestershire needed Lace in the crease for as long as possible, but when his off-stump was sent cartwheeling by Jack Brooks, disaster loomed. Ryan Higgins and Gareth Roderick tried in vain to restore some pride with a boundary each. But Craig Overton quickly stopped any faint hopes of recovery from a strong lower order, trapping Roderick to leave Gloucestershire 71 for 8. 3 overs later and it was Lammonby's turn to get in on the act, throwing the ball for the first time in his career and striking in just his second over to draw the edge from George Scott. 2 balls later, and Craig Overton wrapped up proceedings to claim his 4th wicket and bring a sorry Gloucestershire innings to an end, all out for just 76. The outlook seemed bleak for Gloucestershire, having to bowl again with a deficit of 161, but they did manage to make an early breakthrough. Eddie Byram was due a score, with 30 his highest score of the tournament so far, but he scooped David Payne's delivery to square leg, and Somerset were 12 for 1. Needing to avoid disaster to bat their local rivals out of the game, Tom Lammonby and Tom Abel set about finding the boundaries at Taunton to move the hosts to 50. Abel has endured an indifferent campaign with the bat this season, but he had the better of the Gloucestershire bowlers as Somerset moved to 74 for 1. Having relied heavily on their lower order batting, Abel and Lammonby's comfort at the crease will have provided welcome relief for Somerset, who continued to kick on, with victory looking more a case of when, not if. Shortly after tea, Abel brought up his half-century, with the skipper guiding his side past the 100 mark in the process. And a laboured Gloucestershire attack was further punished as the second wicket stand passed 100, the score now 114 for 1. The lead climbed over 300 to leave Somerset more than confident of defending their total. And the day continued to get better for them, as Lammonby notched a maiden first-class 50, the 20-year-old reaching the milestone in 122 balls. Abel's hitting masterclass continued at the other end, as the second wicket stand passed 150, as Somerset moved to 163 for 1. A deflated Gloucestershire could only watch on, as Abel ran in to pull up a century, hitting 17 fours in the process to reach his 7th first-class 100. Not to be outdone, back-to-back 6s from Lammonby brought up 200, as the home side really started to turn the screw. Before a special moment for Lammonby, who grabbed his ton and in some style too, as Somerset's aggressive nature saw them declare on 223 for 1 to set Gloucestershire a daunting target of 385 to win. That left Somerset 6 overs to bowl before the close of play, and there was a sense of déjà vu about the start of Gloucestershire's second innings, as Josh Davies struck in just the second over, with Ben Charlesworth gloving behind for 1. In came captain Chris Dent, and 2 balls later he'd gone 2, and in the same fashion as the first innings, trapped LBW by Craig Overton, leaving the away side 5 for 2. Gloucestershire's failure to cope with a new ball in fading light saw them lose a 3rd wicket. Tom Lace's leg stump sent flying by Davey, now 14 for 3, in yet more remarkable scenes in the final overs of the day at Taunton. That capped a perfect day for Somerset, to leave the result of the game surely in no doubt, with Gloucestershire left to mull over 2 extraordinary batting collapses and needing a miracle in day 3 to prevent a crushing defeat.